Dan Bidondi, TruthRadioShow.com. And just the other day, a Texas church got shot up the other day by an AR-15, a Ruger AR-15, and this is right here is the very platform that the shooter used. And as you see here, it's a 30-round magazine and a semi-automatic weapon. Now, people say, "Oh, this is a scary weapon. Oh, it's got it's a semi-automatic action platform here, and it's a violent weapon." But folks, all this is a rifle. Without my finger here, it's useless. Without a cartridge in it, it's useless. Without a human being pointing this weapon at somebody, it's useless. It's just a piece of metal. Same thing as a knife, a car, and anything else deadly that without the human behind it, it's just useless. It's just a tool, and normally this tool is meant to protect people and ourselves. But however, people need to understand about firearms. And the other day, people were shot up and killed, about 26 people, and people blaming the guns like it's the gun's fault. Well, again, the gun right now is useless because it's out of my hands. The gun itself doesn't kill people. It takes a maniac, a psychopath, to pull that trigger, to push and aim that gun at somebody and pull that trigger. So people need to understand how guns work and how gun control doesn't work. Because if you look at the facts here, there was an armed neighbor that stopped the shooter. Because this shooter had many magazines. He was ready to kill a lot more people. 26 people were withheld from the Second Amendment. They were not allowed to bring the weapons into the church. And this man across the street, a neighbor, stopped the shooter. Now, if he wasn't there, if there was gun control, let's just say there was gun control initiated in that part of Texas. Nobody was allowed to carry firearms or have any kind of firearms at that. So that gunman, he would have done simply is he would have dropped these magazines here, just like that. I got one hand here. And he would have loaded another magazine, killed more people, and another, and another. He would have probably killed almost everybody in that church. Because of gun control. Because citizens were not allowed to bring a weapon into that church. That's why 26 people are dead. And it had one, two, maybe three of those people, and those victims, God bless their souls, would have had a weapon to defend themselves. Maybe most, if not all of them, would be alive today. Plain and simple. And it took an armed citizen to stop this. Now again, if there was no gun control, if there was gun control initiated, there would have been no armed citizen to stop this guy. He would have took another magazine and loaded it up and shot more people. And people say, well, people shouldn't have military-style weapons. People shouldn't have 30-round magazines. Well, it doesn't matter if it's 30 or 10. He still would have dropped this for 10-round magazine. He would have dropped it, put another 10-round magazine, and still killed people. So it doesn't matter what capacity your magazine has. And it doesn't matter what the platform is. And people are all afraid because it's a military-style platform. It's just a rifle. That's all it is with a fancy skirt on it. That's all it is. And again, without my finger being in that trigger mechanism, it is useless. It doesn't kill people. People use this as a tool to kill other people. And more people, still to this day, regardless of the mass shootings lately, still to this day, more people die from prescribed medications, psychotropic drugs. More people die from drunk drivers. More people die from get into regular car accidents. More people die from cigarettes at that. And so how, people say, oh, wow, this should be banned from American citizens. All right, until the day, that day comes when all criminals, all tyrants, give up their firearms and they don't exist no more, then that's the day that maybe I would give up my firearm. So what stops a bad guy with one of these rifles is 10 good guys with one of these rifles. Because the mainstream media never covers every day how an armed citizen, every day across this country, an armed citizen prevents some kind of a crime, a murder, a mass shooting. But that one incident, like we seen in Texas the other day, this maniac goes into a gun-free zone church, kills 26 people, and those people in that church were defenseless. They were sitting ducks because of a gun-free zone. And it took an armed citizen, once again, to save the day and stop maniacs with guns. And people say, oh, well, gun control works. Well, you show me where gun control works. You show me an incident where a person went into a bank full of 40 people, all armed, and killed everybody in that bank. It doesn't happen. That's only in fantasy land. So you get these people out there, and I'm not a liberal, I'm not a conservative. I'm an independent constitutionalist, and so don't say I'm a right-wing NRA supporter and all that. No, I'm an independent constitutionalist. I believe in the right to bear arms, as the Constitution guarantees us, for we the people have a right to keep and bear arms that shall not be infringed. And if people understood that, and if nobody ever messed with the Second Amendment, we wouldn't have mass shootings like this today. Mass shootings, only the reason why they occur is because of gun control. Gun control kills. So just say my family here in this house, okay? A man comes, we have strict gun control in the state of Rhode Island, no assault weapons. A guy comes in with one of these because criminals don't follow laws, and gun control doesn't take guns out of the hands of criminals. As we see in Chicago and everywhere else that has strict gun control, has the worst crime and murder rates in the country. So they come in with one of these, what am I going to do? Come out with a little single-shot 22 or throw a can of beans at them? No. I'm going to protect my family with this against a criminal with this. Because as a law-abiding citizen with this makes this a free country. And I want to say, before we go here, I want to state one thing. The only reason that the Founding Fathers, and you don't have to take my word for it, you can read the Federalist Papers, you can read the countless quotes from the Founding Fathers, why the Second Amendment was established for. It's not just to protect themselves against criminals, it's not for duck hunting, okay, and it's not just for muskets. It says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed, period. There's no stipulation what kind of weapon it is. Today, criminals use these kind of weapons. That's why people like us need these kind of weapons. And most of all, governments have these kind of weapons, okay? That's why we, the people, need these kind of weapons. Sure, in the perfect world, we shouldn't have no weapons. We shouldn't have to kill anybody or defend ourselves. Perfect world, yes. But that's only fantasy land if you actually believe in that. That's going to happen. That us giving up our weapons is going to save the day. No, it's not. Because the reason why the Founding Fathers established the Second Amendment for is to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government if that day was ever to occur. If the government decides, hey, we're going to make this turn into a dictatorship and we're going to go mass genocide, or democide, I'm sorry, we're going to push mass democide like the Germans did and like other countries did throughout history that took the weapons away from the civilians so they couldn't defend themselves. That's why the Second Amendment was established, to protect ourselves against our own government if we ever had to do so. That's why we are a free people. This here, the Second Amendment, is the foundation of the rest of our liberties. Plain and simple, for a citizen to be armed, just as armed as the military, as President George Washington eventually said. Okay, countless quotes from the Founding Fathers state how important it is for us, we the people, to be armed, to protect ourselves, our families, and most of all, our own government here, to protect our republic from tyrants, even to our enemies, foreign and domestic. So if that day administration and presidency would ever dare to push this into a dictatorship, overthrow this government in a tyrannical way, to push a monarchical system or whatever they want to do. Anyway, folks, need to study what the Second Amendment is about. It's not a Republican thing. The Second Amendment was written long before the Republican Party was even thought of. Long before the Democratic Party. Okay, the Second Amendment is an American thing. It's a civilian thing, okay? It's a constitutional thing, okay? It's not regulated just to the NRA. It's not regulated just to the right-wingers, okay? It's not regulated to the conservative Republicans. It's regulated to the people. The Constitution, the Second Amendment, for the people's right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, plain and simple. And this is Dan Bidondi for the Second Amendment, for liberty, for God, for country, and for the Constitution of the United States. God bless.